Topsy and Tim meet Father Christmas. Topsy and Tim were very excited. It would soon be Christmas, so they were going to the garden centre to get a Christmas tree. Mummy told them to put on their hats, coats, scarves and gloves because it was cold outside. It had been snowing, so Dad had to drive slowly. They saw some children playing in the snow. Topsy waved to them. "Let's build a snowman when we get back," said Tim. There were lots of families choosing Christmas trees at the garden centre. "Which tree shall we get?" said Mummy. "I like that one because it's really big," said Tim. "It's too big to fit in our car," said Dad. Topsy and Tim agreed on a very nice, smaller tree. Dad fetched a trolley for the tree and the twins helped to push it. Mummy said they could choose 2 new tree decorations to add to the ones that they kept from last year. They searched through a box of glittering decorations. Topsy found a dear little angel for the top of the tree, and Tim chose a cheeky robin redbreast. "Because you've been so helpful," said Dad, "there's a special someone waiting to meet you before we go home." At the back of the garden centre was a little wooden house. It was covered in snow and twinkling lights and a sign that said Santa's Grotto. The front door of Santa's Grotto opened and a lady dressed as an elf welcomed Topsy and Tim inside. "Who are you?" asked Topsy. "I'm Father Christmas's helper," said the elf. "Do come in and meet Father Christmas." Topsy and Tim held hands tightly as they went into Santa's Grotto. Father Christmas was sitting in a big armchair. He smiled at the twins and said, "Ho, ho, ho! Have you been good children?" "Yes, always," said Topsy. "Will you come down our chimney with presents on Christmas Eve?" said Topsy. "Don't you worry," said Father Christmas. "I'll be there. Just don't forget to hang up your stockings." "We won't," promised Tim. "And we will leave a carrot out for your reindeer," said Topsy. Mummy peeped in to see how they were getting on. "So good, they deserve a little present to open when they get home," said Father Christmas. He pulled out a present for Topsy from a sack marked Girls and a present for Tim from a sack marked Boys. "Thank you very much," said Topsy and Tim together. As soon as they were back in the car and on their way home, Topsy and Tim opened Father Christmas's presents. "I've got sunglasses," said Topsy. "I've got a trumpet," said Tim. They were very pleased. It had snowed a lot while they were in the garden centre. When they got home, the twins ran straight outside to build a snowman. Dad helped them, and at last they had a splendid snowman. Topsy and Tim ran indoors and fetched an old hat for Snowy's head and a carrot for his nose. Looks like he's wearing Topsy's sunglasses too. It was getting dark, so Topsy and Tim said goodnight to Snowy. They had a surprise when they went into the living room. The Christmas tree was covered in twinkling lights, tinsel and tiny toys. Tim's robin was perched right at the top of the tree. "It's not fair," grumbled Topsy. "My angel should be at the top." Just then, Kitty strolled into the room and spotted the robin. Kitty thought the robin was a real bird. She leapt high up into the tree and brought it crashing down to the floor. "Naughty cat," said Mummy. "Bad kitty," said Tim. Then everybody began to laugh. It was not long before the tree was up again, this time with Topsy's angel on top. At last it was Christmas Eve, the night when Father Christmas comes. Topsy and Tim went to bed, but they didn't want to go to sleep. Their stockings were hanging at the end of their beds, and Mummy had put a carrot for Rudolph on their chest of drawers. "I'm going to stay awake to say hello to Father Christmas," said Topsy. Tim didn't answer. Look, he's already fast asleep. Tim woke up early on Christmas morning. It was quite dark, but he could see that his stocking was full of exciting presents. "Wake up, Topsy," he called. "Father Christmas has been. And Rudolph's had his carrot." Now let's turn the page and help Topsy and Tim solve a puzzle. Topsy and Tim are choosing Christmas decorations. Look at the decorations in the yellow box and see if you can find them all in the big picture. Snowman. Can you see a snowman? That's right, there are two. 1, 2. Now what's next? Robin. Can you see a robin? There's 1 and there's another one, so that makes 2. This robin is at the top of the tree. What about a reindeer? Can you see a reindeer anywhere in the picture? That's right, there's the reindeer, and he's got a red nose. Must be Rudolph. Can you see a Father Christmas? I can see 2 together. Can you? 1, 2. And last, can you see a bauble? Well, I can see lots of baubles. They're all over the tree, and there are some in the box, and there are some in this glass jar. There are lots and lots, because baubles are what we use to decorate at Christmas time. Here's a map of Topsy and Tim's village. That's where Topsy and Tim live, and that's where Santa came down the chimney to deliver their presents on Christmas morning. What a lovely story. Merry Christmas, everyone. I'm going to read a story called Stickman, but I need a friend to help me read the story. I think my friend Poe is going to help me. Will you help me, Poe? Let's read the story together. Stickman. Stickman lives in the family tree with his stick lady love and their stick children 3. One day he wakes early and goes for a jog. Stickman, oh Stickman, beware of the dog. That's funny, isn't it, Poe? A stick, barks the dog, an excellent stick, the right kind of stick for my favourite trick. I'll fetch it and drop it and fetch it, and then I'll drop it and fetch it and drop it again. I'm not a stick. Why can't you see? I'm Stickman. I'm Stickman. I'm Stickman. That's me. And I want to go home to the family tree. A notice says, dogs must be kept on the lead. At last the game's over and Stickman is freed. He sets off for home with a hop and a twirl. Stickman, oh Stickman, beware of the girl. A stick, cries the girl with a smile on her face. The right kind of poo stick for winning the race. Has everyone got one? Get ready to throw. It's 1, 2, 3, into the river they go. I'm not a poo stick, why can't they see? I'm Stickman, I'm Stickman, I'm Stickman, that's me, and I'm heading away from the family tree. Stickman is floating, he floats on and on. Stickman, oh Stickman, beware of the swan. A twig, says the swan. This twig is the best. It's the right kind of twig to weave into my nest. I'm not a twig. Why can't they see? I'm Stickman. I'm Stickman. I'm Stickman, that's me. And I long to be back in the family tree. The nest is deserted and Stickman is free. He drifts down the river and sails out to sea. He tosses and turns till the frolicking foam washes him up on a beach far from home. Here comes a dad with a spade in his hand. Stickman, oh Stickman, beware of the sand. A mast, yells the dad, an excellent mast. Hooray, there's a flag on our castle at last. I'm not a mast for a silly old flag, or a sword for a knight, or a hook for a bag. I'm not a pen, I'm not a bow, I'm not a bat, or a boomerang. No, I'm Stickman, oh Stickman, beware of the snow. Here comes a boy in a warm woolly scarf. An arm for my snowman, he says with a laugh. I'm not an arm, can nobody see? I'm Stickman, I'm Stickman, I'm Stickman, that's me. Will I ever get back to the family tree? Oh po, poor Stickman, will he ever get home? Stickman is lonely. Stickman is lost. Stickman is frozen and covered in frost. Stickman is weary. His eyes start to close. He stretches and yawns and lies down for a doze. He can't hear the bells or the sweet singing choir, or the voice saying, "Here's a good stick for the fire." Stickman is lying asleep in the grate. Can anyone wake him before it's too late? Oh po, what can we do? He dreams of his kids and his stick lady love, then suddenly wakes. What's that noise up above? It starts as a chuckle, then turns to a shout. Oh ho 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 ho, I'm stuck, get me out. A stuck man? A stuck man? Now who could that be? Don't worry, cries Stickman, I'll soon set you free. A scratch and a scrape and a flurry of soot, a wiggle, a jiggle, and out pokes a foot. A shove and a nudge, a hop and a jump. and Santa falls into the room with a thump. Stickman, oh Stickman, you excellent friend. Thanks a million. Thanks without end. Then Stickman helps Santa deliver the toys to fast asleep girls and to fast asleep boys. Faster and faster they fly through the snow, till Santa says only one chimney to go. There he is, look, in Santa's sleigh. Stick Lady's lonely. Oh, the children are sad. It won't feel like Christmas without their stick dad. They toss and they turn in the family bed. But what is that clattering sound overhead? Someone is tumbling into their house. Is it a bird or a bat or a mouse? Or could it, yes, could it just possibly be? I'm Stickman, I'm Stickman, I'm Stickman, that's me. And I'm sticking right here in the family tree. Bye bye Santa, and thanks for your help. That was a lovely story, Poe, wasn't it? And Santa rescued Stickman. What a lovely story.